Baking soda was first used by the Egyptians as early as 3500 BC. The Egyptians used it as part of the embalming process for mummies. Then in 1843, Alfred Bird, a British chemist, discovered that baking soda could be used in place of yeast in bread products. This worked well for his wife, who was allergic to yeast.
Dr. Eat right here. Now that we know all about the history of baking soda, next up is science. Let's talk about how baking soda is used in quick breads. First, what are quick breads? Quick breads use baking soda or baking powder instead of yeast. We'll talk about yeast another time. Examples of quick breads are muffins, biscuits, scones, cornbread, and quick loaf breads like banana or zucchini bread, or even one of my favorites, cowboy bread, that you guys get to eat at school. Baking soda and baking powder are a base. Buttermilk, brown sugar, yogurt, lemon juice, vinegar, cream of tartar, molasses, applesauce, natural cocoa powder, or honey are acids.
In 1970, it was discovered that baking soda could be used as a friendly cleaning agent. You can mix 1 part baking soda to 2 parts vinegar or lemon to clean out drains, clean sinks, and more.
When an acid and a base mix, they release a gas called carbon dioxide. This helps make our doughs and batters to expand and make our breads, cookies, and cakes fluffy. This cowboy bread was made with baking powder, so it did rise. This one, not so much. However, some items are not meant to rise, like crepes. They are so thin because they do not have baking soda or baking powder.
Crepes are like a thin pancake. Crepes originated in Brittany, France, where a housewife accidentally spilled a thin layer of porridge on a hot, flat stove. Crepes also come from the Latin word crispus, which means crisp.
Would you like to hear about the world's largest pancake?
Like this one?
No, not even close. The world's largest pancake ever was made in 1994 in Rochdale, Great Manchester. It was 49 feet wide and 1 inch thick. 49 feet is as tall as the Hollywood sign in Santa Monica, California. It weighed 6,000 pounds, just as much as an African elephant.
Wash, wash, wash your hands, fronts and backs and sides. Use warm water, not just cold. Don't keep those germs alive. Hey.
Hi, I'm Chef Michael Yip, and this is my daughter,
Lily.
and today we're going to be making pancakes from scratch.
But usually we always make it from this very box every Saturday.
Okay, you busted me. But, in my defense, what's in this box are the same ingredients we'll be using. So, why don't we go ahead and just make it from scratch? You ready? Okay. So, the first ingredient we're going to use is flour, because that's what the bulk of the ingredients is. So why don't the recipe calls for 1 cup of flour. Why don't we do a half a cup of wheat and a half a cup of white? And the reason why we're using wheat flour is because it has more fiber, and the fiber is good because it helps you poop. Okay, so you ready to get started?
Yep.
Okay. And
You have to do it with this. And then you have to do this.
And the reason why she's not scooping it is because when you scoop it, you will pack the flour and it will give you an erroneous weight measurement. Okay, put it in there. And what we're going to do is take all of the dry ingredients and mix it all together. And then we're going to take all of the wet ingredients, put it in a separate bowl, mix it all together. And then we're going to combine it all, and then we'll be ready to go. So now a half a cup of white.
This stuff. 1 more scoop has to make it full. And then you slightly this.
Next, we are going to add the salt, and salt's going to give it a little bit of flavor. And next is the baking powder, and baking powder is what causes it to leaven or rise. Okay, when it rises, it releases CO2 gas, which gives it the puffiness of a pancake. You don't want a flat pancake, do you? I didn't think so. Okay, Lily, you want to put in the last one? What do you think this one is?
Sugar.
It sure is. And what does it make? What happens when you put sugar in there? Put the whole thing in there. We want everything. You can't put enough sugar in there, can you? Okay, now we're gonna take this whisk and mix it up. Mix it up there, kiddo.
You have to make sure it's everywhere.
Okay, I think we're good right there. All right, and next we're gonna get the wet, which is your veggie oil. Okay, so you wanna dump that in there. And this is actually 1 cup of milk. That's what we serve in the schools. It's also a half a pint because there are 2 cups in 1 pint. So therefore, a half a pint or 1 cup, or 8 fluid ounces.
Now,
Okay,
crack the egg.
crack the egg, yes.
Pour the egg in there.
All right. Now we're gonna mix that up really good. Make sure you mix the egg and the milk up really good together.
Don't see the egg. Try to clump it.
Okay, give it a good stir, kid. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now we're gonna mix the wet with the dry. So you got your whisking muscles ready? All right, here we go. Ready? Go ahead, mix away. Okay, I think we're good. So now that we have the batter made, we heated up the griddle, we're gonna test the griddle to make sure it's hot enough. And you do that by getting just a little bit of water and flicking it on there. And you hear the sizzling noise, that means it's ready to go. So, next we will get some cooking spray. And this is the same as oil or butter. If you didn't have spray, you could use oil or butter at home. And we're gonna spray a little bit in the area we want to be cooking. And Lily is going to put some batter down. And that's good right there.
Healthy.
Okay, and also a note to the batter is as soon as you mix it, you want to go ahead and cook it really fast because the baking powder is a quick leavening agent, meaning it releases the CO2 immediately. So you want to cook your batter pretty fast. And Lily, how do we know when these pancakes are done?
If there's bubbles.
Right, there'll be bubbles around the top of it. And what about the edges? Will they be browned or not browned?
They'll be there.
Okay. Okay, so these are the various toppings you can put on top of your pancake, or actually you can incorporate them in the pancake as well. But here we have chocolate chip. There is pecans, strawberries, blueberries, some whipped cream. Of course, that would go on top. This is hazelnut spread, also known as Nutella. We also have peanut butter. And then of course, it would not be complete without maple syrup. And of course, you can also use butter. We'll do chocolate chips and blueberries. How does that sound?
Blueberry.
Not blueberries?
No way. No
Okay. And you want to spread it out a little bit. Do you like a little bit of a pancake with your chocolate chips? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, that's plenty.
I guess.
Thank you. And next, how about, what else, what other topping you want to put on there?
I bought some nuts.
Nuts? Okay, let me get them for you. Okay, there you go.
1 scoop.
1 scoop. All right. So, I think it's getting very close to being ready to be flipped. We can kind of tap it down a little bit, okay? And see that we have a few bubbles forming right here. You see the bubbles coming? We're almost ready to be flipped.
And you can take a little peek, like this.
Okay.
Ooh.
And Lily's gonna check to make sure it's brown. Does it look brown right there?
Yeah.
Looks brown to me. All right, let's flip it over.
Okay.
That was a nice flip there, kid. Okay. And how do we know when it's done?
If
That's right.
If it's
You're
done.
you're gonna peak. You're gonna peak. So, but it'll take a few minutes. The griddle's set at 325. If you don't have a griddle, you can turn your burner on a medium-low heat, and it'll work just fine. Are you ready to eat? I'm ready to eat. I'm hungry.
You can have that one. I'll have this one.
Okay. Okay. If it's ready, let's take it off. Are you gonna put some spinach on there?
No.
Okay. How about some syrup and butter?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's way better than the box stuff.
Hey guys, Coach Yu here, and we are frying up an awesome game. I've got our chefs, AKA the students, standing in their kitchens. Well, that's behind the throwing line between you and me. So they are ready in their positions, ready to fry up some fun. We've got all kinds of ingredients here. We've got strawberries, we've got blueberries, and we've got our peanut butter. And the idea is we gotta get it into the frying pan. Those frying pans are the hula hoops back there, safely distanced 6 feet away from each other. COVID friendly here. Now, one ingredient at a time. They're gonna take turns, one from each team. Throw their ingredient into that hula hoop, try to get it in the frying pan. If they miss the frying pan, 5 jumping jacks per team member. Then they continue going through one at a time, tossing their items, getting them in the frying pan. At the end, we'll see how many ingredients they can cook up. Ready, team? Let's go! Let's go, team, let's go! Woo! All right, guys, let's see how we did here. Let's see how we did. Girls, I think you fried up a hot mess out here. Sorry to say, looks like the boys are gonna take this game. All right, they were cooking up some good food.
Here's a fun for you activity. All you need is vinegar, baking soda, food coloring, a large container, and a few small containers. First, pour the baking soda into the large container. Next, pour the vinegar into the small containers. Then add the food coloring to the vinegar. Have your little one pour the vinegar and food coloring into the baking soda to see all the colors mix and the fun chemical reaction it makes. That's it for baking soda and quick breads. See you next time.